Hello, everyone, and welcome to an Upper Deck Designer Discussion. My name is Mark Shaughnessy, your host and today's discussion, and product manager for Versus System 2PCG. Today, I'm joined by co-founders of Super Awesome Games and co-designers of Versus System 2PCG, Danny Mendel and Ben Chachowski. Gentlemen, thank you very much for taking the time and joining us today.
2 thumbs up.
4 thumbs up.
So I'm going to do some housekeeping. While I do that, you guys can go ahead and shuffle up and draw your hands. But we're going to try something different. For the chat, we're actually going to throw a poll out so you guys can decide who goes first. And you do that by typing in !vote and then either Danny or Ben. So who do you think should go first in this first little battle? So as far as housekeeping goes, if you're watching us on Twitch, welcome and thank you for joining us. Our live Twitch streams are exclusive on Twitch for the first 24 hours. After that, we will then post them to our other platforms. If you like what you see here, we do invite you to follow us on Twitch so you don't miss any of the live streams. Did you know that if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can actually link your account to Twitch and it gives you a free single stream subscription? So that's just something fun and cool if you happen to have Amazon Prime. After the 24 hours, we will be posting to YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you like what you see, please subscribe and give us a like so you don't miss any of our content. For those of you in chat, you can actually hit !YouTube, and that will give you a link to our YouTube channel. Finally, you can stay up to date with what's happening in the Versus System 2PCG world by checking out our Facebook page. There you will see images for upcoming products and even links to our card previews on our blog. And those card previews are written by these two gentlemen, Ben and Danny. You can hit !VS in the chat here on Twitch, and that will give you a link to our Versus Facebook homepage. All right, gentlemen. We often get questions from players about the design process and what you two would play. We wanted to get everyone together and talk about the game, answer some questions from the community as you two fight to the death, or I'm sorry, just a friendly match today.
To the pain.
For $1,000.
Oh, for $1,000.
Yeah, $1,000.
So why don't we talk about what decks you guys have designed?
Well, I have designed a deck that I think is probably going to sweep the nation. It is, first of all, I should talk about what our parameters were. We decided, so Flag Day is coming up on Sunday, and we thought in Marvel specifically, what's the best thing that sort of incorporates, what's the best of the country? And we think that Captain America is the best. Captain America always wants to do what's right and not necessarily, what's popular. And so we're doing a Cap versus Cap, illustrated versus photographic battle. So I am Captain America, a.k.a. Falcon.
And I am Captain America, a.k.a. Steve Rogers.
A.k.a. Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that's what we have for the first game. We have other decks if we make it that far for on the second game.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing to be clear, especially to those that are watching, the decks that Danny and Ben are making have nothing to do with meta. This is not designed to try and persuade what the meta should be or highlight things that they think players should be playing. This is just a friendly match. This is just some fun, showing off some of the cards that they enjoyed making and putting together some fun and funky decks, mainly because that's really what this game is about. Let's have some fun.
And it will be clear after you see after a couple turns that they're not trying to affect
that. Yes. Yeah, what you're about to see, you probably will never see at a main event tournament.
You can never unsee.
You can never
unsee. Exactly. Okay, so let's go ahead and end the poll and see who goes first.
No, my cards.
Deconstruct VS, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. And J2 Monkey Girl, thank you very much for the subscription. Appreciate that. C-Stacks. We all know C-Stacks. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. That's awesome. And, of course, there's an exact tie between Danny and Ben of who goes first. And because there's an exact tie, I understand that you guys would use something in your normal playthrough to decide who goes first.
Yes, so when you become a game designer, there's a whole ritual and secret handshakes and all that stuff. But you also get given a poker chip with a smiley face on one side and a sad face on the other side. What we do to decide who's going first is we spin it, and usually whoever's side it goes on matters, but in online, of course, it's just going to be my side. So we will spin and see if I'm happy, which means going first. I'm happy, and I'm happy to be first, as it should. As it should be. I don't really like my... Oh, that'd be funny to you.
Great.
No, I'm going to mulligan.
I've already mulliganed once, so...
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even need to know if we're going first or not. Just knew my hand wasn't good.
All right, so while Ben mulligans, Danny, why don't you tell us about how you guys met and how Super Awesome Games came to be?
Ben and I are old. We met in 1995 at Tufts University. We both attended Tufts. And he was...
Well, we both lived there for a while.
Without actually attending.
I'm not sure how much attendance was done.
Yeah, after 7 years, I got my degree.
Played a lot of basketball, though, so my parents will be proud of that.
A lot of basketball, a lot of other card games.
Yep.
I think, and then so that's how we met. Ben was actually designing games back then. He made... I won't name the IPs because they weren't official or whatever, but he made a lot of games and he would use us as his play testers. So that was pretty cool and pretty fun. And then I'm just gonna skip ahead, years and years and years and years later, I guess, what was it, 2012, 2014, 2012.
Skipped a lot of parts, but yeah,
you do those middle parts.
Well, we worked at Upper Deck together too.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the Wild West days of Upper Deck.
The mid 2000s, right?
Yep, in Carlsbad. And that was a blast. I did that for 5 years. 4 years, maybe? 4 or 5, yeah. And then we both moved back to the Northeast from California.
And then and then eventually basically we worked at a video game company for a while, and then we actually decided to do our own thing, and that was Super Awesome Games, which we do a lot of work for Upper Deck, so which is cool to be back and talking to the guys that we worked with 100 years ago, or meeting new people like Mark. That's my whole story. Did we fight?
I thought it was great.
Thanks. It's riveting.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blast working with you guys the last couple of years. And actually, that leads us to our first question from the community. Oddly enough, the person has the exact same name as Ben, but Ben C would like to know what the elephant's name is, and I'm guessing it's the elephant in the Super Awesome Games logo.
Yeah, the elephant's name that's a good question, Ben. Actually, the greatest question that I've heard in a long time. The elephant's name is Michael, and that you might ask, how did we come up with that name? And Danny has an answer for that.
We didn't come up with it. That's his name. He's Michael the Elephant. Michael the Elephant is actually his superhero name.
Yeah.
We went to Tufts University, which is the mascot is an elephant. So I guess
not just an elephant. It's a jumbo.
It's a jumbo, yeah.
Huge elephant that was in P.T. Barnum's circus.
Yeah, and I think this is a private enough situation. We can tell you that Michael the Elephant, the superhero, his alter ego, private at home name is Michael.
Yeah.
The Elephant.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and
I'm gonna play Slingshot. She She agents, so show everybody.
Yep.
Yo-Yo, also known as Yo-Yo. So she's
Yo Rodriguez.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that card on the bottom. But then we're going to team attack, so I get an XP for team attacking.
Yep.
And hopefully you're stunned.
Pass. Yep.
Yes.
Ow.
And then slingshot bounces back to my hand at the end of the turn.
Yep.
I am done.
All right. Draw phase.
It's going well so far.
I don't like it at all.
Kirk WB, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it.
All right. I'm going to play Fortress, and I'm going to attack. It's my first attack of the turn. I'm going to attack Falcon or Cap. So I get an XP. My Captain America wants to attack first each turn. And then I'm going to just pass.
So they're just sparring, maybe.
Just sparring, yeah. It's like a training thing. All right, I'm done with my turn.
I thought that was a great turn.
Thank you.
Super effective.
Ooh, it's really tempting to just keep slingshotting and getting you, but we'll see. I don't know if it will work. So I'm going to play slingshot again. Here she's back.
She's back.
Look at the card and put that on the bottom. Nobody likes that. Team attack.
Yep, get your XP. Yep, I'm hit. Ow!
Jeez.
Yeah, it's so easy. But I got slingshot off the board. All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, draw. All right, it's time for...
I'm playing with these cool new sleeves, if you can see them with the glare.
Very cool.
Pretty awesome.
I'm going to play new Iron Man, new Stark, and I have a blue. Do I have an Iron Man in my hand to put out with Swarm? No, I do not.
Oh, no.
But, he's got genius, so it's cool. All right.
Pretty good.
I'm going to bring it with these two. So it's my first attack. I'm going to get an XP. I'm going to use Cap's Ready to Follow Captain America power.
Nice.
And then these guys are bigger. So 4 and total of 7 points coming over.
Somehow he's convinced Tony to be a follower.
Yeah, but without his Iron Man suit. Just bring your smart little mind over here and punch someone.
You got me.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, and as Ben takes his turn, we're going to grab a question from the community. Alex asked, is the solo mode of the game still being released? And it's actually something that I can answer. So due to the quarantine and due to the situation that we all find ourselves in, when you have a game like Versus, where you need not only a physical presence, but you need an opponent, it became very difficult to even run events. Most of our regional events were canceled due to people not being able to congregate in groups. So the idea was brought up of, should we have a solo mode? It's something that we've never done before, especially because it's going through and figuring out how we could release something like that to the public. Should it be physical? Should it be print at home? Should it be licensed? Should it be unlicensed? So these are a series of things that we have to work our way through, and it does take time. It is something we are still working on. It is something that we're still working our way through. Danny and Ben have already figured out kind of what the idea behind it. It's just making sure that we produce the best product that we can, and with the constraints that we've got. So yes, Alex, we are still working on a solo mode for Versus System 2 PCG. So is it Ben's turn?
Yep, I played Slingshot and Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons is 2 agents in 1 for the price of 1. So I think we might do a weird thing here. Fitz has a gun here, so he probably wants to fight. So Tony's annoying too, though. Tony's a 3/5.
3/5 genius.
I don't need to know about that part.
AKA Iron Man.
All right, I'm going to try to team attack, get an XP with all 3 of them, coming for 7. All 4 of them technically because it's Fitz and Simmons.
Right. So are you getting Tony or?
Tony, yeah, Tony.
All right. So what are your guys? 3 Fitzsimmons.
2-2, 2-5, 3-3.
All right. You got him. So I'll get Slingshot.
Yep. I was afraid of that. I am done.
All right. Draw phase.
But I'm only 1 XP away from being level 2. Like, no pressure.
All right. Well, I've got. Not great. None of this is great. I've got Hawkeye. So here's
That's
Hawkeye,
good.
2/5. Not that exciting. I don't have
Good
a red.
against Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, I should show the team.
Yeah.
All right, but Cap's going to attack Fitzsimmons to get an XP.
Who would you like to, when you stun Fitzsimmons, you get to choose which one you...
I believe Simmons is the one who makes people cheaper.
Yep.
Biologist.
You
I'll
can
get
either
her.
one. Oh, okay. I'll put the wound right on her face so we know that she is not there anymore.
Okay.
All right. All set?
Yep, I'm all done. Not a great turn.
Fitz is back. Yeah, it's possible I should have swooped onto Tony, but I didn't.
Oh yeah.
Well, I have other plans for that red. It's precious.
It's
precious to me. Want to play Mockingbird?
And all your locations by this point. Are you going to espionage me?
I am, which is just if you can just hand me your deck.
How many is it for? 2?
Just two. I'm going to do the agent first.
I can't see them. Only you can see them.
Oh, interesting. The one in your left hand you can keep, and the one in your right hand we're going to put on the bottom.
So you and everybody else watching knows what this card is, but I don't. That's invasive.
I like it a lot. And you're a 7, eh?
I'm a 4/7, 2/5.
I don't think we care about Fitz that much. Sorry, Fitz. He does design a lot of cool things, but
Cap.
Yeah, we're gonna go for Cap, and we are gonna swoop this time.
So that means I don't strike back, right? Because I don't have flight.
You can't strike back because you don't have wings, brother.
Okay, all right. So
I'm the Cap with wings.
But we're friends from work, so we're all good. We're all good good affiliation.
We are friends from work too.
So
all right.
For those of you who cancels the combat.
If that's not a literal card, I don't know which is.
What was that, Mark?
If that's not a literal card, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Why are we fighting? Yeah, it's your go.
The sparring match is getting bloody. Oh, the card you let me keep. Thank you.
So speaking of actually friends from work, that leads into our next question from the community. Kirk wants to know, how has your design process changed with the quarantine, if at all? And did or do you guys work out of a shared office?
Primarily, we can't do the coin thing anymore the right way.
That's the most, yeah.
No pants, just no pants anymore. Although that's not a change for Ben. We do work out of a shared office, although not since the quarantine has started. And we've been doing this is actually how we playtest. We're playtesting right now, and then you guys showed up.
Yep. So,
all right. So it's my turn, right?
And then when we do file reviews and things, like when we're talking about cards, everything's a little slower because it's harder to look at the same monitor together. It's harder to do stuff over like a phone call or a messenger or some sort of service like that. So things are slower, but we're making do.
Sure. Yeah, we've noticed that here as well. I mean, I've been working from home since this started, and everything definitely is slower. But we just have to kind of make do with what we've got and do the best we can.
Yeah, that's what we're trying.
All right. So it's my turn. So I should look like
yes.
Played a green. Might look who I drew a little late. This the Iron Man.
But now you have the Tony Stark, so you can. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or just play him. Or just play him is fine.
Just play him straight. Yeah, I could do it the other way, but I want to save the yellow and the blue. Actually, I want to save the yellow for this. So I'm gonna use his genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. So I draw a card.
Wait.
Sorry. Yep.
What does Cap's superpower cost?
Cap superpower?
Yeah.
Green. Might.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait, what's happening?
Don't worry about it.
I'm using Iron Man's genius, billionaire, playboy. Do you have any responses?
No.
Okay.
I have no reactions.
No reactions. Right. Okay.
I'm sure Ben has many responses. He just doesn't have anything you can use in the game.
Right.
I always have a response.
All right. So genius, I drew a card already, I think, right? Didn't I? Or did I not?
I don't know. I don't think so. I stopped you, I think.
Oh yeah, this was the card. And then I gain a recruit point. I put a +1/+1. I should do some math here before I do all this stuff. So you get a +1/+1. And then so what do you got? 2, 5, 2, 2, 5, 3?
Yep.
I just want to make a 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, 3. Yeah, I'll throw it on Hawkeye. All right. So how much do I care if it's in this? I'm just going to do this. All right. So these guys are going to team attack Falcon or Cap.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Sure. I'll use Cap's ability because it's there.
We're a loyal deck, so we're going to stand together. We're going to cancel that.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So that turns up. So they stay this size. Cap does level. He does level. What'd you say?
They're big enough already.
Yeah. So that was my 4. I think I did that right. Yeah. First attack. So those guys are coming over for a lot to get your Captain America.
Not Fitz?
Not Fitz.
Huh. Interesting strategy. Wait a minute. Did I? I think I missed an XP.
Did you team attack on turn 1?
Yeah.
You did. Yeah. You should have. Yeah. So should you be big? You should be bigger, right? You should be.
My bad. Everybody. Yep.
This is what happens when you play test. we back up and we fix it.
So yeah, he's 6'7", so you're still easily hitting him.
Yeah. I'm losing. You
want to make a different attack?
No. In fact, my play would have looked even better if you were bigger, because then my guy would be 8/8 with the Cap counter. So your stand together looked awesome here, because then you get to take out Iron Man.
You got him. I'll hit Iron Man.
How big is Falcon?
6'7".
6'7". Okay, so I'll power up using the Tony Stark you gave me.
I hear you calling him Falcon and like trying to like change history a little bit, but like he's Captain America.
Okay. All right. So does my guy live, or did you want to do anything?
For now.
Okay.
For now.
All right, and then Hawkeye will try to shoot Mockingbird. I think they're married in the comics.
I think so too.
But not this version. He married that woman.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, keep in mind, Falcon hasn't become Captain America in Danny's world.
Right.
In the
true.
MCU world. That hasn't happened yet, so maybe later this year we'll see that.
It seems, yeah. Well, he has the shield. Why does, we should get rid of the shield on Danny's card. Right. All done, Danny?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Yeah, shooting Mockingbird, that's rough. All right, let's see how it is. That's decent. I like that. I don't like that, though. That's sad.
For those of you in chat, we do have a poll going on right now to see who you think will win Game 1. If you want to, you can hit ! Vote, and either Danny or Ben to vote who you think is going to take Game 1 here. Team Apex FTW, thank you very much for the sub. We appreciate that.
Interesting.
Speaking of who's going to win this, Kirian from our community would like to know who you think is the better player between the two of you.
That's why we're doing this. This is how we're going to find out. Finally,
this is the definitive game right here.
This is it.
I will say this. This happens sometimes in playtesting. sometimes I don't have my eyes on the prize very well. Ben's can be very focused at like winning the game sometimes, and I'll be like, he'll be like, I'm dead on the board, and I'm like, I'm busy trying to make like a board control play. So I think he's has a better vision for like when it's time to go for the kill versus, you know.
I'm better at everything except the winning part.
Got it.
I don't like how big your guys are.
Let me know if you need a stats check.
Cap's a 7-9 now.
8-9.
Jeez. Wow.
Vanilla's movie. Thank you very much for the follow. Also, that poll resulted in a tie again.
Wow.
So
flip the coin.
I like it.
So
all right, we're
we
coming up.
We'll see who the better players.
Cap and Fitz by himself. He's very sad because Gemma is dead, but he's gonna put his anger into punching Iron Man.
All right, so are you eight attack coming over?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this play because it's funny. When you gave me that Tony Stark, I had 2 other Tony Starks in my hand.
Oh wow.
So actually, I'm not gonna make that play. That's no fun. I'm gonna take it all back because I want to try to assemble the team. That's my whole purpose. So never mind. You don't know that I have 2 Tony Starks.
There's a lot of talking, but not a lot of actual answers about what you're doing.
All right.
At some point, he'll play a card.
Can I get Falcon 6? Captain, you're Captain America 6/7. I'll stun him, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You got him.
Yep. But I've seen all my Tony Starks this game.
Fitz can't believe he keeps surviving in the front line. It's not usually what he's known for. Mockingbird and Sharon Carter teaming up with a unwavering loyalty on doesn't really matter, Sharon Carter. So for 9.
9?
Yeah.
That's enough to get me.
I hope so.
All right, I'll trade with Mockingbird.
That was my plan.
Oh no. Hawkeye's like, I'm still alive.
Sorry that I keep wounding the fake Captain America.
Yeah, that's enough. Are you all set?
I am done.
Okay. Draw phase. I'm just glad you didn't espionage me again.
No, I wish.
All right. So now what are we doing, team? Now we are.
Need 4 more people, right?
Just 4 more. This is the turn. I'm going to play Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Hulk, and then I can just win the game. Nope. Instead, I'm going to play Tony Stark again. It's just I have lots of copies.
He's Iron Man. Yeah. There. See, 1.
All right. So what's going on? I gotta take out some of your guys. Oh, you only have 2 guys face up. Okay.
I got the doofus team here now. Yeah, half of a science team. Well, Sharon Carter's awesome, but she's not very. Her stats aren't very high.
All right. So you can. It's not great. All right.
Agent 13. We should have given her Agent 13 times.
Right. It was a very slow process. But, all right.
Holy mackerel.
Cap's going to try to get Fitzsimmons.
You mean Fitz?
Yeah, just Fitz now. Turn 5.
Ooh. How many cards?
7. That amount.
All right, you got him.
All right, Hawkeye will try to shoot Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
And I'm done. We got to play faster if we're going to get our second game in.
I know. I'm sorry. Slow. So slow. I think we'll play.
Figueroa in chat still thinks that Danny will be able to pull out that alt win, so there's still hope.
It's a while from now. Uh-oh.
The real Hawkeye. The real Hawkeye.
After that card just showed up?
The real one, yeah. I really want to shoot Hawkeye with Hawkeye a lot.
It's pretty good.
But I don't think that's the right play. So I am going to try to shoot Cap with Hawkeye for 7.
Okay, that's not great.
Use your handful of plot twists. You have to use them. That's the other thing. I play my plot twists probably too early, and Danny often has a fistful of them at the end.
I'll play He's a Friend from Work to cancel the combat.
All right. Fly over, because I'm the real Captain America who flies, as we all know, and hit Hawkeye for 6.
All right, Hawkeye for 6.
Yeah.
Just 6.
Yeah.
All right, I'll power up and get him to 7 defense and hope he survives.
Huh. Interesting.
Revolt Puppy in the chat says there's a lot of hot guys on the board out there, and that actually kind of leads into the next question from the community, which is from Deconstruct the Universe. Deconstruct the Universe is a fan site that they go back through and find where the art attaches or where we pull art from in the comic books. And their question was, how does would love to know more about how the art is chosen. And that's actually something I can answer while they play. The art itself is chosen based off of the license. Different licenses, when you get a license, there are some requirements. Some would say restrictions, depending on the license. Just because Thor, bearded Thor. Just because you get a license doesn't necessarily mean you get access to every character, to every actor, to every likeness. So we have to pick and choose what it is that we can use. So when it comes to, say, a comic book, just because you see it in a comic book doesn't necessarily mean we have access to that. We still have to go off of what assets we have access to. So we will utilize the images that best represent not only the character. We definitely will try and find something. We definitely will try and find something that that is that represents what's going on the card, the certain effects, the certain powers, but even something like, say, the licenses from TVs and movies. We sometimes are even just given a list. These are the images you can use, and we just have to choose the ones that best fit that character or that situation. So it's kind of a mix, but we have some fun going through it. We trying to find the best ones that work. Hopefully you guys enjoy what it is, what it is that are chosen. Revolt Puppy asks, is each character is licensed individually? Not necessarily character. Sometimes in the movies and the TV shows, actors are.
That's fine, Danny.
And that is that's something that we have to factor in. Is getting an additional license with that actor going to help the product? Because if we have to put more resources towards that, we don't necessarily raise the cost of the product. So it becomes a factor. Same thing with original art. We can't get original art on everything just because that's an additional cost. Now, sometimes we do. Perfect example of that is in the Herald set that is coming up. We have a character named Gamma.
I don't remember the power.
And
that power. Yeah.
She was a character created in the 90s.
Okay, so they trade.
And that character, or back then, the world was different. So she doesn't have a costume that would be appropriate for this day and age. And so we actually had to go out and get an artist to create an image that we felt was important, powerful, and was able to show her off without being inappropriate. So there are times when we can do that, but we can't do that every single time. It can get quite costly. Sorry about talking over your game there, guys.
No, it's fine. Iron Man. This is actually the true Iron Man?
The real Iron Man. Oh, boy. Hulkbuster. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Let me know when you get Hulk out there.
Yep.
I actually considered, I had a way I could hit back Thor, but I wanted to make Iron Man bigger.
Right.
So I'm going to put 3 counters on Iron Man because he's busting Thor. He's a Thor buster.
Yeah. So how big is he?
He's 10-10.
Okay.
He's protecting his... Cap is just a little tired. He's just going to go back here for a second. Iron Man's going to attack Captain America.
Deconstruct BS in the chat.
Ow.
For some people who don't know, Multiple Man is my favorite character, and yes, he is not in the game yet.
I'm going to shield toss and daze Thor.
Oh, cool.
I try very often to try and get him into the game, but obviously
Just to make him little.
Yep.
It's got to work. It's got to work right. Besides the fact that Multiple Man is one of the most powerful characters in Marvel, you can actually look that up. But yeah, sometimes it's it doesn't go the way that you want it to. But well, at some point he'll make an appearance.
Mark, do you also like the movie Multiplicity?
Actually, yeah, that's actually a pretty fun movie. Michael Keaton,
agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. He puts a slice of pizza in his wallet. Wait a minute.
My own Hulkbuster. It's Hulk in the Hulkbuster.
It's very confusing what's happening. We're in a real multiverse here.
Yeah, I am also going to put my Captain America in the back.
Just to take a breather, right?
Yep. So let me check this out. All right, Bruce Banner, aka Hulk. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I can put a +1 on him for each time he's used it, and he pays 1 less if Iron Man's actually in play.
Free, yeah, free.
Combo. All right, but your dude is big. You have a big.
You have multiple guys who can attack.
I'm doing this the wrong way, but I want to go for the combo. All right, 10-10. That's 10-10. Big. Still 10-10. Hasn't gotten
nothing bigger. Nothing bigger than that.
All right, I'm done.
You're not attacking him?
No.
Good. You know I have helicarrier and shield tossed up, right?
Oh well, yeah, I missed that. So that's not good for me.
So go back and maybe try. Yeah, I think you have to try to.
All right, you've convinced me, but that means I go for the win here with my weird play.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, you've convinced me. I guess the worst case we go to game 2. All right. Iron Man versus Iron Man, and I'm gonna play No You Move on my guy, so I can at least push your guy back at the end of combat.
That's a mean trick. I don't think there's anything I can do about it except kill Iron Man. But
my guy's toast. And then these two will team attack again. Well, it doesn't go well for me if you survive this, but I guess Iron Man attacks first, or Hulk attacks first for 8.
I'm dead.
All right, good game.
No, you was the MVP because I was going to get you for sure next turn.
Oh yeah, and I totally misplayed. I forgot about the day's play. So
the shield toss is very strong.
Yeah.
You can't run and hide from the shield because he's the one who actually has the shield. You notice that?
Yes.
Yeah.
The real shield. The real illustrated shield.
I almost put the thing that crawls at night, or the thing that whatever that Monsters Unleashed guy is, who can attack locations if everyone's stunned. I thought, oh, shield toss.
Yeah.
And then go and then eat your locations. So I'm like, it is. That
would have made me very sad.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. When we iterate on these decks, that'll be the next version.
Yeah, I already took that one apart.
So for these two decks, I made the other deck I made was the person who hates Captain America the most, so the Red Skull.
And I made the person who fights for freedom in the mystical planes, Doctor Strange.
So Red Hulk, Red Skull versus Doctor Strange.
A classic matchup.
While you guys are shuffling up, let's ask another question from the community. Benjamin would like to know, have the use of formats met your goals? For those of you who don't know what the formats are, we created something a couple of years ago called featured formats. It's something that it's a series of limitations that we add to different seasons as we go through. You guys can expand on that a whole lot more.
Yeah. So the short answer is yeah. Like we're, I mean, I'm sort of speaking for Ben here, but I know he's also very happy with how the formats have gone. We 2 thumbs up. Yeah, 4 thumbs up. So yeah, some examples of formats might be where we say only, like we did Big Apple Battles to start, and that was only certain teams were allowed to be played. It was like 6 or 7 teams, and it was all these like New York-based teams. And then a different format might be like a different kind of deck building rule, like you can only play characters with 1 health, or your deck can only have 1 copy of each card, something like that. So So yeah, when we set out to do it, we had a lot of goals. I actually saw this question on the boards earlier, and I sort of glanced at the article we'd written a few years ago, or whenever this was. And yeah, I just sort of went down what we put out, like what our goals were, and it sort of is checking all the boxes. Essentially just to give you like a quick rundown, it's things like the formats can be very thematic. They can they can keep the game fresh, basically. Like instead of a game sort of stagnating because you're playing the same deck over and over again, it gives you a different deck building challenge every 3 months. In a way, it's a way to make the game more accessible. Depending on the format, of course. But some formats that are like, hey, we're only going to use these 6 teams. For a new player who might want to get into the game, they would only need to pick up the sets that have those teams. And we don't have we don't use like a booster pack model where you get random cards. You get fixed content when you pick a set to buy. So we figure that's pretty accessible. And I'm
going to keep mulliganing until you are done.
Stop talking, right? So, yeah. That's the other reason Ben's better than I am. I shuffle. I take forever to shuffle, so he gets more games in, unless he's waiting.
To expand on the reason behind the formats, as Danny said, Versus System 2PCG is a game in a box. We don't have booster packs, so there isn't a chase. So it really comes down to, can you build a better deck than someone else if you both have access to the exact same cards? And the other thing that we noticed, especially early on, where people were building a deck and just sticking to that deck. And when a new product came out, if they didn't find a card from that expansion to help their deck, they were very vocal in saying that that product was bad without giving it a shot, without understanding why those cards were made. So it was a way of breaking people out of that mold, taking the blinders off and letting them experience and see what else is out there. And by taking those limitations, they can be something as simple as, good versus evil, all the way down to, you only get to choose certain cards, and just seeing how people react and who can build a better deck. C-Stacks in the chat wants to know what your favorite formats have been so far.
Ooh.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it.
We should have a poll to see who answers first. No.
Oh,
it'll be a tie. So
my favorite of the ones we've done so far, because Ben and I have a list of future ones. But so far, I really like the Life's Too Short. I think it was called the One Health one, because I'm a big fan of the thematic ones where it's like this is New York teams or just mutants or whatever. But I really like the how it cuts across like the entire card pool, every set. This is not as accessible like we were talking about, but it totally changes the value of a bunch of cards, and not just like, well, 2 health cards are useless and 1 health cards are suddenly like what you got to use, but also stuff that's like lethal. Like lethal's very powerful in the game, but is somewhat close to meaningless in Life's Too Short. So I think that I enjoyed that concept.
My favorite is Singularity, which is 1 copy of each, and I've always loved playing card games that way. I like the variance that brings. I know some people, it's very polarizing. Some people really like it, and some people don't like it because they like the consistency of a deck with more copies of cards. But I like it just increases the permutations of interactions in a game, which is what as designers we're looking for. We're looking for more cards to get played. We're looking for more different interactions in a game, so the games feel different, so people want to play again. So that's my favorite, I think.
All right.
I'm not surprised.
Danny, you go first. We should play fast
for the follow. And Danny will be going first this game. And he immediately passes.
XP.
I like the
Sanctorum. Draw a card. XP.
Oh my gosh, it's all happening.
Well, I don't have anything to play. I'm done.
All right, draw. I don't get XP when I draw.
I got 2 XP though. It was pretty fun.
Yep. All right, I'll play Scourge. I get XP based on the attack of the characters I play, so I get 3 XP because Scourge is a 3/2.
We were talking about the actor who plays Scourge earlier today. He's in the Marvel MCU. He's in Star Trek. He's in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's everywhere. All right, these 2 guys are going to team attack for 5 attack coming at Doctor Strange.
What's this now?
He's shooting his guns, Dez and Troy, and the Red Skull.
All right, but last turn, all you did was just passed.
Right. Yeah, that things have accelerated.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just put this wound on him then.
All right, fair enough. I'm done.
Hey, chat would like to know if these decks are loyalty based.
This one is not.
Okay.
Mine are both loyalty. Yeah. The Red Skull demands loyalty, and Cap inspires loyalty.
I'm gonna draw a card.
So thematic, Daniel. So thematic.
Pitch a Sanctum Sanctorum to draw a card.
You're gonna be level 2. It's level 2 soon.
I hope so, buddy. I hope so. I hope so. I'm gonna get shot a couple turns first, though. Unfortunately, is Scourge a 3/2?
Yeah, you can get him.
Woo!
Ouch.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, wow. Very, very, very magical.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carl.
Cue the CG effects.
That's right. I wish I had. Yeah, it doesn't look as cool when you just.
Are you all done?
Yes.
We gotta play like lightning round speed.
Lightning round speed.
That's a term we use in Play-Doh. All right, I'm playing Destroyer. Sorry, I didn't show Scourge.
Yeah.
It's a big.
Oh
a big
my gosh!
Yep.
What's the sound that he makes when he shoots?
Is that accurate? I don't really remember.
Yeah.
All right, I've got 8 XP. Is that right? Yeah, 8 XP. Okay, cool. You're 2/4 still, right?
I still am not very big. That's right.
All right. Destroyer alone is gonna just try to shoot you, so I can.
Wow. I'm just gonna take a wound. I'm just
done.
gonna take a wound. Oh man. Oh no. No, that doesn't work. Stand by. Gotta do something different. I have a plan. No, I have a plan. Don't worry.
Okay.
Face down, Clea.
Oh no! She's here.
Yeah. Level up.
And she gets around my Red Skull can't be attacked by 3 cost or less guys because she's a accelerated 6.
The meta game was Red Skull was running rampant in our designer discussion meta game. So I draw a card for her. So let's see.
That's a lot of cards.
It's 11. Destroyer's a 5/3.
5/3, yeah. Get in there.
All right. Clea's gonna try to use her magic on Red Skull.
He's magically stunned.
Dr. Strange's gonna try to get some revenge on that guy.
4/7?
4/7.
That works out poorly for me.
Your turn.
All right, draw phase. All right.
This is the best my deck has looked. So I did take 3 mulligans. Oh, I wanted to talk about the mulligans. So the first mulligan's a mulligan, but in playtesting, this started at upper deck actually. If you ever took a second mulligan in playtesting, that was called a gentleman's mulligan. Now, it could also be a lady's mulligan if it was a female playing, but it happened to be all guys. But and then the third one was named after our colleague Drew Walker, who would he say, "I'm taking a third mulligan. I'm going to take a walk."
Taking a walk.
Yeah.
All right, what are we doing here, team?
And he would say with shame in his voice.
Bambi Nimble, thank you very much for that sub. We appreciate that.
I'm gonna play the new card, the new vulture. So you discard.
Oh no! Is it random?
It's a random card, but best of all, 8 + 7 levels me up. So I'm
But I want to keep all my cards.
I'm bigger. I'm an 09 now. I'm passive. Oh, this is my level 2. I'm passive.
All right.
This is when he's in Infinity War and he's no longer a mean person, I guess.
I actually have 12 cards now, so give me a 1 through 12.
6.
Good choice.
Yeah.
You got a nowhere. That's weird because I have defenders on my team, so I'm not sure.
All right, then I'm going to use. Oh no, I can't. Yeah, I can do this now. It should be before I actually do my formation, but
wow.
Which is I guess I have
amateur hour.
I'll do choose an enemy player to reveal their. You must lose what you love. Choose an enemy player to reveal their hand. Discard a supporting character. Revealing your hand is going to be mostly a pain. Just give me the highlights and toss your.
I've got a couple locations. I got a Gargoyle. I've got a hidden weapons. That one you might want to know about.
Oh, that's good.
I got Talon Stick, Hellcat, Power Man. Sweet Christmas. You just got a Power Man.
Bye, Power Man. Okay, and then I'm gonna just do this because it's awesome. I'm gonna say everywhere I go, I see Power Man's face. So
Oh no!
Then you can't play. He can't appear this game. No Power Mans.
That's messed up.
And now the question is, do I want to trade with Clea or not? Or and the answer is yes. I'm gonna try to trade Vulture with Clea.
I will allow it.
I should move him back, but it doesn't really matter. All right, I'm done.
09, huh?
09.
I want to play Stick. Wait, let me just check. Is this Daredevil? It is not. It's Doctor Strange. But he knows Daredevil, so... And then they are going to team attack. Look at that team attack. You don't know what's coming your way. Is it a magic spell or a piece of wood?
I'm stunned.
I'm stunned that you aren't dead yet. Your turn.
You're getting there. Are you all set?
Yeah.
All right, draw phase.
Let's see. Helion, thank you very much for that follow. Also, LCDO. We are going through a list of characters as far as characters for mats and the card sleeves, much like what Ben's using. Captain America is on that list, and he should be coming out early next year.
Oh, I'll make you discard another big high cost card.
You got a Talon.
Hopefully he has now green. I want to get your green superpower. Sorry.
He has red.
All right, he's going to try to get Doctor Strange is a 6/9, correct?
Yep.
All right, here Earth Elemental wants to punch Doctor Strange. Elementary, my dear Doctor Strange.
I don't like that much, but I can't stop it. Okay.
I'm done.
Red Skull is not much of a fighter.
No, he's more of a summon elementals kind of guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna play Gargoyle.
Yep, he's fun.
And his buddy, Beast. They're climbing buddies. They like to go climbing. They go to the boulders in Idaho. I don't know.
Is that the acrobat beast?
Yeah.
He's fun.
They both climb. Bloop. 10-10 still pretty big, no matter how many times I check my hand. I think, Doctor Strange, you're the leader. What do you want them to do? A team attack? Sounds good. Okay. Here they come. Here they come for you. They're attacking for 12, but you're a 9/9. Remember?
Yeah, I'll get Gargoyle.
Wise choice.
You can get out of hand too easily.
Yes. I'm done.
Yes.
All right.
Chat mentioned that Gargoyle they think is one of the better supporting characters.
Yeah, he's real good.
And fun. He's fun. Aspirational.
He's grotesque, which is sort of not kind of we've said that, but.
All right, here comes Mysterio, the actual reason I have elementals in my deck. So,
oh no.
Not really thematic with Red Skull, but I wanted to play with some new cards, so it's fine.
Well, they both sort of float around.
That's true. So Beast is a 2/3 or 3/3?
He's a 2/3, but remember he's a 2/6 sort of.
2/6, right? Okay, so just too big. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do the discard effect with you must lose what you love, so you lose your highest cost, dude.
You got a Gargoyle. The number is getting lower and lower.
Yeah, I like that because when you just at home, if he runs out, if he doesn't have any to discard, I just win. But instead, I'm just going to pass because I'm done with my turn.
I love that. It's my favorite kind of turn. I think we need to do some to tap into our supreme knowledge a little bit here. So, Doctor Strange draws a card. Doctor Strange draws a card. Ooh. Ooh. All right, we'll play a Hellcat. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
Hello.
He's a 5/9 Mysterio.
5/9. I'm so glad I didn't attack. Hellcat would have pounced.
You're an 09.
I can't even eat passive.
These guys are all coming for you for 10.
Just 10? He's done.
Just 10.
Ow.
I'm done.
Draw phase. Oh, the best That means Mysterio gets to summon a water elemental.
No.
We need massive damage. That's fun. I mean, it is turn
Which one's
7.
he?
He's the 6-drop, 12/12. Yellow. Yellow is how
I
you get rid
care
of it.
about the color. Yeah.
Oh, that's my other interaction. I try to make you discard cards you might be able to get my holograms with. I gotta roast somebody though.
That's called Ken Ho, a move. You play your guys and then you put your resources down afterwards.
No, he has to come out at the start of the build phase.
Oh, okay.
I was technically correct this one time.
Okay.
Sure, I'm wrong the other 10 times when we actually were testing. Well, let's do a fun play. This will be fun. Chitauri Leviathan, 4/6. Can ready my villainous guy.
Ready guy. Yep.
Yeah,
You're gonna ready a big guy.
I'm gonna ready my big guy. Yeah. All right. So big guy is gonna try to get Beast.
He's a 6 though.
Yep. 12/12.
Okay.
I'll ready my big guy. Try to get Stick.
Oh, I haven't been climbing with him. That was a mistake.
Oh, that's what it was. How big should he be?
Not big enough. Doesn't matter.
Okay. And then I'll ready him with he'll hop into the Leviathan and attack again. On Stick.
Yep. The stick.
Yeah, Stick.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Chitauri Leviathan will get Hellcat.
1 wound on Hellcat. She's tougher than the average cat.
That's all I got.
Yeah, Ben, we've noticed, at least on some of the other streams we've done, where that climb is a common thing that players miss. They get really excited about attacking or playing and miss that climb.
I love attacking.
Sure.
Attacking is the best.
It is.
So if you have a yellow superpower, it gets rid of Water Elemental.
I wish I did. Sanctum Sanctorum. Oh, let's draw a card. So close. Clea.
Yep. And draw another one.
Draw a card. Yeah.
While Ben is deciding what he wants to play, we have another question from the community. Oddly enough, someone named Ben wants to know why aren't there more puns in the game?
Good question.
Who asked that? What's their
Oddly enough, they have the same name as Ben, which is strange. I've never known anybody with the last name that Ben does. And to finally see a second person in the world with that exact same name, it was pretty impressive.
Who also has an investment in puns. That's good. No, that's good.
I will attack your Leviathan. Danny, you should answer that one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll trade. Oh no, I don't take the trade at all. I just get smashed.
You can't get Hellcat. No.
We have hired a VP of pun, vice puns, and then basically wait till you get to the Freedom Force set in a few months. That should make you feel good about the amount of puns. Ben Chikoski, who asked that question. All right. So what's happening?
Like
I get another elemental. I don't have one. I do have another Chitauri Leviathan though. They have Swarm. So yeah, here they come. 2 giant ships. If I draw my Chitauri weaponry though, it's all over. We got to move this guy back. I think he's done enough. 5/5, 3/3, and then how big is Dr. Strange? 4/7.
4/7.
All right, Mysterio will shoot Hellcat.
For 5?
For 5, yep. My 2 spaceships from another planet will attack.
You're ending the comment somehow, or?
Oh, sorry. I'm
cool.
done.
Oh,
Light speed. Pass. All right.
All right.
Team attack, Clea.
I will power up Clea to hit the one that's wounded.
Nice.
Or try to, unless you have something else.
Yep. And then Water Elemental will try to.
Yep.
Elementalary. All right, I'm done.
Ditto. Well, we got Hulk.
Whoa. They have a Hulk.
He's a big man. I think you're just going to kill me. You're stupid Chitauri guy. Getting Talon was really good for you.
Oh, that's funny.
I was going to stun 1,000 of your guys. Yeah. All right, I'll try to hit your Chitauri guy.
Cool. How big's he's? I can't see the number. 10-10?
10-10. Yeah.
Okay.
Puny weapons can't hurt Hulk. Your turn.
All right. Draw phase.
I hope you don't win here, but I have a bad feeling.
I'm it's gonna make the attacks that are on the board. That's my plan. I'll just throw somebody. I'll play a 4-cost Ultron. Why are Ultrons in my deck? Well, they're good with leveling me up in the early game. I
love the confidence you have in your deck that you have to
why do I attack? So Hulk is 10-10. What are you? I'm just gonna go attack.
What
attack.
Are you? 12?
12. Yep.
Super senses.
Yep. Yuppies. And then attack with these two. No, I don't want to attack with those two guys.
You're gonna ready.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Ben, Build phase in the chat is saying it's looking dire for the doctor. Hopefully you've got something that you can bounce back with.
It is looking very dire.
You should play end of turn power that you get to invoke once per playtest session. And then we just
No. This deck was built around Talon and Krugar, who care about having doctors, like they all work together. And Danny made me discard Talon, so things got grim.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, totally.
Totally on purpose. All right, I'll make the same attack after popping the Water Elemental into the Chitauri.
For 12?
Just 12.
I have a lot of cards that aren't helping. Okay.
All right, and then I'll just one giant team attack. So if you have a cool end of
cancel
Dead.
You
Photographic.
dominated. Good job.
Photographic. Powerful.
That's a clean split between the two games there. While you guys are cleaning up, we have another question from the community. How do you research each IP before setting about the game design? And did you binge read the comics or binge watch the series/movies for inspiration?
The second part of the question sort of answers the first part. Yeah, for sure. Like we get the comics online, or I actually got a for Fantastic Four. I actually bought because I wanted to have it anyway. So I bought the
nice.
First 30. I think it's the first 30 issues. So I read those and other ones. So yeah, there's things. And then X-Files. I had watched every X-Files episode a few years ago, and so I watched some, and then I read every Wikipedia entry on every single episode. So that's a lot for X-Files. Yeah, and then so you'll see things like Time Platform, which Dr. Doom uses very early in the Fantastic Four run, and things like that are on those cards. And we tried to, when it's something like that for the first time, we want to do sort of origin or original sort of thing. So yeah, we definitely we have to use that stuff for inspiration. Primary source first, and then of course wikis and stuff as well.
Yeah, we actually do the same thing at Upper Deck, not only just for Versus, but for other games as well. The product manager for Legendary, a guy named Rob, especially for, say, the Bond that we had, or the Legendary Bond that you guys actually designed. He had to go through and watch all the movies, and we have to do that. We have to watch the movies and the series and read comic books, and anytime
it's a hard life. It's tough.
Oh yeah, it's a very hard life. What did you do today, honey? Well, I watch movies all day long. Even there was a question earlier about how far in advance we work on products, and we're working on stuff for next year right now. And so when I go through and try and figure out what kind of storylines we would like to see, or what kind of characters we would like to see, it's a lot of Marvel Wiki and comic book storylines and what's popular now, what characters have we done, what we haven't done, then when we get a new IP, it's about learning what those characters do. And I think the one thing that I hear constantly from the community is the amount of theme that you guys put into every card, especially say the X-Files. There are people that never had seen X-Files before, bought the games bought the game because they needed the cards for the game, and then went back through and watched the series and were able to match up, the episodes with those characters and how they linked in and what those abilities were just perfect. So it's the amount of work you guys do to make sure that the theme matches is quite impressive.
Really appreciate that. We take pride in that. We have strengths and weaknesses as designers for sure, but I think a strength that we both share and that comes through is what you said. That's what we want to do. That's very important to us. It's our number one thing we want to do with the game. Obviously, we need the game to function and be fun and be balanced and all these other things as well. But if it's not thematic, especially to something like X-Files, which is so different than other things that we, it was sort of challenging to get X-Files in. And Danny was the lead on Buffy. And then, he did that great thing with vampires and slayers and like, so yes, I don't know, Danny, you can expound more on that, but.
Watched a lot of Buffy. I watched a lot of Buffy. And I actually have some friends and my girlfriend big fans of Buffy. So I got a lot of research through conversations and which are the most important characters, all that kind of stuff. One thing I will say about vampires, it is we don't do this very often. We worked on other trading card games, Ben and me, and sometimes we'll do like in more bottom-up centric games, which means you sort of figure out the mechanics and then layer the flavor on top afterwards. We might have a keyword or a mechanic we really want to do, and we'll be like, okay, these 10 cards are going to have this keyword, and then regardless of what else is going on, because in Versus System we do flavor first so much, it's often hard to have a new mechanic that's going to go on 10 cards. Obviously we have our evergreen, like sort of more simpler mechanics like lethal or flight. But so once in a while when something appeals, like with Shield versus Hydra, we did like agents and soldiers. And then when we got to Buffy, we'd made Ben and I had talked years before Buffy about doing something like what ended up becoming vitality counters, essentially a +1 health counter on a card, because we're like, yeah, that will just sort of work in our game. It's a stat we can mess with. And then when vampires, we were like, oh, we're gonna do vampires. What could be like a unifying mechanic for vampires? It actually wasn't the first one we came up with. We came up with some other stuff that didn't end up working out. And then we were like, oh, what if that's the way they get health? And then that of course made us start them all, with 1 health instead of 2 health, so they could sort of build their way up. But yeah, that's the Buffy story, I guess.
Okay, so then that kind of leads somewhat into the next question, but also from what I see in chat. And the question that I get the most, and it's not necessarily a single question, it's usually, why isn't character X in the game? Why isn't IP X in the game? Or are you going to make a set based off of whatever? And we may have the IP, we may not. As far as why a certain character is not in the game is generally based on our ability to use that character from the licensor. As I said before, just because we have a license doesn't mean we have access to every single character. And we don't ask why. It's not really, we don't own the characters, and to put it simply, last year, we weren't able to do Fantastic Four. You just got Fantastic Four. So as soon as we're able to do a character that we really want to do, we will do it. It's not a personal attack towards that character or any of the fans of that character. It's just we have to make the best product that we can based off of what we have access to. And that even goes into the movies and the TV shows. Like I said, we may not have access to that person's likeness, so that character may not make an appearance. Or the image that we want to use just isn't good enough, and so we'll have to cut that character out. But yeah, as soon as we get a character, Theo, we will be able to put that character in the game. I promise you. As soon as I have the ability to do that, I'll do it.
And I am as annoying. No, wait. I'm sorry. I'm as persistent as Theo.
Yes.
I'm always asking Mark, like, no, Mark, we can just do this, right? It'll be fine. And
yeah,
I'm not the licensee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I just keep pushing. So we're all pushing, and I know Mark's pushing too. So we're all pushing for all our favorite characters to be in, especially like wait till you see a whole year of multiple man sets.
Multiple.
Well, yeah, it's multiple man. Why not? Kirk in the chat says that we should keep the gag running. So from now on, the rules sheet is going to say, sorry, we ran out of space. We weren't able to include that character.
Oh my God.
And every single one. No. So then the next question actually is from Daniel, who goes back to actual designing of the sets. It says, why do you keep releasing new teams instead of expanding the teams already established? I feel the deck building is stifled because of this. I've had more people refuse to continue playing the game because of the limited team card pool. I'm going to let you guys answer that, and then I've got some points I can add to it as well.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one. It's possible, way back when we started this, we didn't know how long we would be doing it. It's been, 5 years now or something like that? 6 years? I don't know. It's all a blur,
yeah.
But yeah.
August would have been the 5-year anniversary.
5 years, okay. So we had 4 teams in that original set, and it's a thing, here's let's look at this year for an example. We have the ability to do Fantastic Four. Obviously, we're going to do Fantastic Four. We're not going to put them in an existing team. They're going to be their own team. We did more Spider Friends and more Sinister Syndicate and more villains for MCU for photographic. And then coming up, we have X-Men, we have Brotherhood, then we have the Omegas, who are a little different, and the Sentinels, who are new. So we have a mix of both, but a lot of it is, if a team deserves to be new, we want to expand. The Marvel universe specifically is so large, and I assume that Daniel's talking about Marvel here. It's so large that we want to expand, and when a team is justified as having its own team, we want to put it in the game. We have been trying a lot in the last couple of years to, like I said, we've been expanding X-Men. We're adding more Brotherhood. We're adding more Spider Friends. We're adding more Sinister Syndicate. We keep. I used to have all our cards on a table in stacks by team, and we would use that. I know it sounds sort of silly, but we would use that as sort of a metric of we don't love that this team doesn't have even as much as a 200 card set for choices. But the idea that it stifles deck building, I mean, it depends on what kind of deck building you want to do, I think. It certainly is the more teams, I suppose, the harder it is to make loyalty decks. If we just had 4 teams, it would be easier to make loyalty decks. But we also like mixing and matching the teams as well. So it's a real balancing act.
Yeah, and actually, a few things on that. Myself, I go through and I keep track of exactly how many cards every team has, and we know which team has the most. And right now, the plan is to not include any more of those cards, at least for next year. So we do try and keep things as balanced as possible. Obviously, a new IP means that there has to be a new team, and sometimes when it comes to introducing a new storyline, you may see that same character, but having it on a different team allows more interaction. It doesn't necessarily all get pushed into the same 5 or 6 teams that some of those that some of those other games use. And then expanding on that, Chustin wants to know what considerations go into balancing the power symbols and what considerations go into balancing the team affiliations.
Okay, so I'll, there's a lot here. There's a lot of different ways to talk about what balancing means. I'm going to sort of just
stand by. You may have bitten off more than you can chew with that question. So here we go. Get comfortable, everybody.
No. I'll do this.
That's true. At least the way that I usually describe these two is Ben's the fun one. He's the pun guy. Danny is the technical guy, and you're about to get a very, very interesting answer.
That's technically true. No. No, so I'll talk about like what our approach is when we make a new team. It sort of dovetails with the last question. So when we have our 4 main symbols in the game, so there's intellect, skill, energy, and might. And when we make a new team that's going to have those 4 symbols, we generally try to give the main characters a mix of the sort of the colors of the symbols, inside what makes sense. And we also try to generally give the team at least 2 supporting characters that use each of the 4 symbols. This is to make it so that like there, the wild has things to go. It isn't just the wild isn't just there to support whatever your main character is. We want there to be a reason to play the supporting characters to show off the colors. Now we sort of purposefully make the symbols like have the capacity to be like overlappy. For example, like if something's just about like punching, well, that could be might, or maybe it's skill. Like, thematically there might be one that's more important than the other, but we have enough wiggle room that we can bleed it one way or the other. If we need to give a team, like we need to just force a red symbol onto a team just for mechanical reasons. So we do that. Now, in terms of the other way of balancing, just outside of a team, just looking at like what do the symbols do, we sort of did like a little pie of okay, we're going to give energy. That's going to be the more like blast type things, and intellect is going to do the more things that feel more mental powers, like discarding a card or drawing a card. We with might. Originally, might was like a lot of the plus counter effects or plus stats was going to might, and we felt like might was kind of limited in terms of the kind of stuff it could do. And then that's when we sort of realized, healing, like healing wounds and stuff, we could give that into might. And then skill ends up being this weird one where both thematically and like mechanically, it can cover a lot of ground and does a lot of sort of like grease work for us. Like, this guy's a good fighter. We can give him skill, or this person is good with guns. We'll call that skill.
Black Widow, Hawkeye, these kind of characters you will see a lot that often have skill, because skill is sort of like something a normal person could have. Yeah.
Right. Now, in terms of balancing it and saying like how did we chop the pie fairly and across the board, like there's 2 types of balance. There's like do we need to give more mechanics to the various symbols, and then there's the other type of balance, which is like, do we feel like the intellect powers are out of control? Because like early in the lifespan of the game, intellect powers, the Dark Phoenix and whatnot were very, very strong. So we sort of reacted to that.
Moondragon.
Yeah, Moondragon, right? With like Jessica Jones and anti-intellect power. So like we sort of do try to move like the ways to address the different colors.
Sometimes we swing the pendulum too far back in that way.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. But then in terms of balancing the actual, like what a specific superpower is, that's on a card by card basis. That's like, we feel like for this card, you get more value because this card has, is a 6 cost thing, and as opposed to a 2 cost thing, even though they both just require a single might to give them a power. So I don't know, hopefully that covers the kinds of stuff you were asking about the power symbols. I think there was another part to the question. Was it about?
It was about both the powers and the team affiliations. So I think you kind of answered both those.
Okay. Sure.
And
we also have been branching. I was just to add on. We also have been branching out. We really like powers that are 2 colors or 3 colors or multiples of a color. We like that. We have that design space and development space, which is really nice. And those are fun, and those are they're a nice way to cost things. That's a real big opportunity cost when you're building your deck, that you have to be able to provide for those different colors. So it allows us to do some more crazier effects, like Pocket Universe.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of cards, you guys said that you wanted to show off a few of the cards that you were most proud of.
I think we was more like, we were just like, what are some cards that we like enjoy for different reasons, and we could tell little stories about them. These aren't necessarily our favorite cards.
Okay.
But you want to go first, Ben, or should I go first? Should we both?
I don't have the cards pulled out because I'm very unprepared.
Yeah, I didn't do that either.
One of my first, the first one I thought of was actually the Hawkeye MC, who has the arrow, the custom arrows with the quiver. I remember I'm reading about Hawkeye. Of course, I was familiar with Hawkeye, but I'm just reading about it. And I'm just reading, and there's a list of just, 65 different arrows he's used in the comics. And I thought, boy, it's sort of a bummer if we had set aside, I think, 4 plot twists for him. And we originally were going to just do 4. and we sort of talked about it. And I was like, no, you can't just do 4. He has so many different boxing glove one, all these silly ones. Like, we got to do more than that. So and that's sometimes we have to check ourselves both directions. But I think that one worked out. We said, can we do 20? Let's do 20. That'll really feel like Hawkeye, and it'll give a lot of options. And when you play Hawkeye, you draw one of those 4 plot twists when you get to level 2. Each turn, and they each have 5 options on them. So you do feel like you have this quiver of lots of options. So I was pretty proud of that one, and I think it's a fun play experience. And your opponent has no idea really what's happening. So because it could be one of 20 effects during the combat. So that's the first one I thought of.
Would you guys like to take a quick break and you guys can grab the cards, or?
I can talk. I will. Danny talks, and he can.
Okay. So yeah, maybe you could grab these also because I don't have access to them right now. I just have.
Oh yeah, I have all the illustrated cards.
Yeah. So could you grab actually? I'll just Ultron SC from basically 2 cards from the base set, Ultron SC and Namor SC.
Surveillance.
So yeah, I'll just dive in. So basically. As I said before, Ben and I have worked on other card games. We've also played a ton of card games, and I always like it when we find some design space that's pretty unique to Versus. That's something that wouldn't a lot of other games wouldn't be able to do, or doesn't tie into the roast mechanic or whatever. And so one thing I was just sort of when Ben and I talked about picking out some cards that we like from the past. I went back to the Marvel battles and just looked at the very first set, and a couple cards stuck out at me. I'm just going to do them. I'll do them both back to back. That's okay. And then, so basically, the first one is very technical. So to do the idea that I'm the more technical guy. The first one is Namor. Sorry, yes. Do you have Namor?
The first one is Ultron.
The first one is Ultron. That's amazing. Okay, so this is the SC. He's one of our first guys that has Swarm, and he can replicate, meaning he just makes copies of himself, and you can put them into play, which is not that's pretty standard. What I really liked about him when I was digging through the cards is that later we made the Ultron main character. So now you are Ultron, right? And it just sort of seamlessly worked with the Ultron supporting characters because they have Swarm. So unlike if we made a Captain America supporting character, you can't play that in play at the same time as Captain America main character. But I liked how we started with Ultron supporting character, later made the main character. I think it was in the Legacy set maybe. And then suddenly you can just have this army of Ultrons, and I know one of Ben's children loves that deck, so that's a side reason why I like Ultron. The other card from that base set that I'm very proud of is not a splashy or cool over the top card at all. It's actually Namor. He has the invade keyword, which basically it's a very simple effect. It just means while he's attacking the back row, he can't be struck back. So it ties into the core mechanics of Versus. It has good flavor. Namor's always trying to, back when he was a villain, he would show up and try to invade the land, So I was like, oh, that's cool. But most of all, the little cherry on top was he was a member of the Invaders. So I just felt like everything kind of came together on this simple card with a simple keyword that we could reuse down the road if we needed it. So that's my technical design story. So
I couldn't find that one in time. So
he's got invade. That's all.
He's at 3/2 with 2 health for 2. Yeah.
And flight, so you can get to the back row.
The other one is very telling, Mark, how you describe us. It is very telling that these are the cards that we're choosing. Because the second one I thought of was the Spider-Verse main characters. Spider-Verse, obviously, the Spider-Verse main characters are not related to the movie Into the Spider-Verse in any way. But that movie is based on the story. So it was just very fertile place to I think that was our first time that we put MCs. Oh wait, maybe the only time that anyone knows about that we've put MCs in a deck, but there might be others. There might be others. Never mind. Very soon. It felt perfect for the Spider-Verse because they're popping in from different parts of the multiverse, and so we thought that and we also liked from the Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl days, we loved the idea of more than one main character. Basically, what we think we love about Versus, or I do, is the system is very solid. It has the rows, which gives a little bit of a tactical and spatial element to the game. And then we, as designers, can sort of play with it. Like, what happens if you have 6 MCs? Well, it's pretty good. What happens if you have 2? You know, what happens if you have MCs in your deck? What happens if your MCs level up but get weaker? What happens if your MCs level up and there's a choice? What happens, you know, so all these things. What happens if your MC levels up to level 4? So level 4 is, right, that's the top, right? That's
as big as it goes. Yeah, that's big as it goes or ever will go.
Yeah. There's only that's the biggest number up per deck. They looked for a bigger number, but they couldn't find one. So I love the Spider-Verse MCs because they play really differently. You'll see that that's a sort of a theme with me. You can play with Miles and some Spider-Verse MCs, which is great, or you can play with all the Spider-Verse MCs and just start with one. And they're on their own very weak, but together as a team, which is, you know, sort of like the theme of the story. You know, they work together really well. So that's
the best one.
What's that?
Which is the best one?
Spider-Ham is the best one. It's actually objective. The I think the United Nations came out with a report during all that's going on in the world, and they said Spider-Ham is the best one.
And what is his power? I believe he has cartoonish immortality.
He does, yes.
So if he gets KO'd, you can say.
You say it.
No, you're the one who always says it. You got to say it. Ben made these cards. He has to say the quote.
You got a problem with cartoons?
Of course, Ben would be the one to put that in the card.
Yes.
Oh, man. And then my last one I had was the Angel and Angelus MCs from Buffy. Angel and... Oh, you have those cards.
Oh, I have.
Angel and Angelus, if you know the show, you know, he sort of goes back and forth. Sometimes he's a good vampire who helps the humans. Sometimes he's a bad vampire who doesn't help the humans, and that's sort of his whole thing. And I'm making it sound more trite than it is. It's very cool in the show. And Danny, like I said, was the lead on Buffy, and he had that idea that you could switch back and forth between them based on if Buffy's on your side, or you can discard Buffy. I think she's on your side. We went through a lot of iterations with them because there were a lot of moving parts. But I really like where they got to, because you can switch between the two, and then mechanically, so that's like thematically really cool. But mechanically, you can switch to the one, if you've built your deck the right way, you can switch to the one that's going to help you based on the matchup that you're in, which I really like. And that means hunk also, but and I love their level. That's not a hunk, but then I love their level 2 powers. Their level 2 powers are some of the craziest things we've ever done. So, can you show those, Danny?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So each player puts their deck into their KO pile. That's not great. And then KO all resources. So that's not great either. And their symmetrical powers. You know, so it affects both players, but you can build your deck for one or the other, or if you're a true master, both.
Or both, right. So my last pick, Ben and I did not discuss which our favorites were. My last pick was going to be the Spider-Verse guys also, because I think both mechanically and flavorfully, I think they're just home runs. But I do have an honorable mention, which I will tell you, which is a new card, Mole Man. Both because when I think it's one of his cards. They both make moloids, and he goes moloids forward. When Ben does it, it's better. But more importantly, he's got this tunnel mechanic where he can sort of go under your. Yeah, Ben's going to show it. Tunnels under an enemy resource.
Mole Man.
Why don't you show them basically what you did when we would do this to me in playtesting? He'd be like,
I can't really show, but I would go underneath the playmat. So like not just underneath the cards, I would go under the playmat because he's really good at tunneling. So I would, yeah.
That's my. I appreciate this stuff. I get to work with the goofball. So
he is a listen. Mole Man is a very goofy character and not scary really in any way. So we had to try to make him be good in the game. You know, he needs to be able to punch with above his weight a little bit. So tunneling allowed to do that.
So we're finding out that Ben is creating cards specifically to irritate Danny.
Yes, to irritate.
Not just irritate Danny, so I get to say fun things.
Right.
Okay. So Ben wants more talking in the game. That's why he has all the
gentleman
quotes. Yes.
And Danny made the gentleman. Danny designed the gentleman. That's what you can tell about one person likes fun. One person wants to censor other people.
Creepy finger wag. Gentleman. In case for those who don't know, the gentleman just say no talking, basically.
One person is about free speech, and another is not.
Oh, so good. We've actually gone way over on time, so I'm going to have to unfortunately end it here. But I do have a little information for the community. So we did this stream this week because there was a break in between the card previews that we've got going on. We just finished Herald. We're going to start up Frightful, actually not next week, but the week after. Next week is our release for the Herald. And something that we started last month was bringing on some content creators to actually play through some new content to show it off, have them build some decks. We were planning on doing that every month. Unfortunately, we realized that the cards that we've got for this month, there's really not that much content to spread between two players. So we're actually going to be doing this every other month. So next month we will have 2 more creators. We've already reached out to one of them, Bert, actually, of the New York Minute. He's decided to join it.
Oh.
No. And so we're going to have new creators come on every other month, play off some of the cards, the recently released cards. So next month we'll have people playing with the Herald and the Frightful. And then in 2 months after that, we'll have people playing with the Futures Past and Freedom Force sets, which will be a fun matchup. So next week, we've got our release for the Herald. So hopefully people have already pre-ordered that. And then the week after that, we will start doing the previews for Frightful. I know a lot of people are curious about a specific character. And I can tell you that since Ben does most of the writing for the blog posts, he's decided to put that character very last. So you'll have to wait for the one character that everybody seems to be wanting to know. But I want to thank
he's slow. Of you guys. He's very tall, so he's very slow. It takes a while.
He's got to get all of the heralds done, and then he's got to be, he has to make his grand entrance.
That's right.
I really want to thank both of you guys taking time. I know you guys are super busy. There was a question earlier about, how far out do we do work on sets? We're doing work all the way through. We're doing card previews for Q2. We're working on Q3. We're working on Q4. We're working on stuff for next year. So these guys are just busy all day long. I'm sure they get tired of the emails and the meetings that I've got with them.
So many.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time and jumping on here. For everybody
really
in chat, it was an absolute blast. For everybody in chat, we hope that you had a good time. Thank you very much. If you submitted a question, thank you very much. Even if we didn't get to it, thank you very much for being an incredible community. I've been involved with a few other games, and this community is by far one of the best, most inclusive, happy to help, especially those that are in the collective. If you don't know about the collective, it's a Facebook, fan-made Facebook group. Check it out, versus 2PCG collective. Thank you very much for everybody. And we will see you all next time on another Upper Deck Designer discussion. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank